Hello everyone. So today in the earlier session we have discussed about the OSPF packets. So in this session we will discuss about the OSPF other packets that we can use in this protocol. So the other packets which are used in the OSPF protocol. So in this the first one is OSPF Hello protocol. So this is the packet format or the packet header which is used for the OSPF hello protocol packet, right? So in this you can see the network mask, hello interval options, router priority, dead intervals. We are using the designated router. We are using the backup designated router. We are using neighbor routers IDs. And again in this hello protocol packet header, we are using the additional neighbor router IDs which can be added at the end of the header if required. So the hello subprotocol, it is just intended to perform the following task within the open shortest path first protocol. So it perform the dynamic neighbor discovery, it detects the unreachable neighbors, it ensures the two-way communication between the neighbors, it ensures the correctness of a basic interface parameters between the neighbors. Again, it provides the necessary information which is required for the election of the designated and backup designated routers on the LAN segment. So, for this task or for performing this task, we are generally or the OSPF protocol generally using this hello subprotocol for performing this task related with the neighbor discovery, uh, related with to detect the unreachable neighbors, or for ensuring the two-way communication and to ensure the correctness, and it again provides the information which is required or which is necessary for the election of a designated and backup designated router on the LAN segment. So this is the first one, OSPF protocol, sorry, packet. The second one, OSPF protocol packet, is the database description messages. So this database description messages, it is mostly or it is used mostly during the database exchange. So the first whenever the first DBT packet, it is used to elect the master and slave relationship, and it set the initial sequence number elected by the master. So we can see that the database description message, it is used during the database exchange. It used the first DBT packet for electing the master and slave relationship, and in this case the master which is elected or the elected master will set the initial sequence number. Again in this data description message, the router, it is used with the highest router ID. So in this type of messages, we can see that the router with the highest router ID become the master, and it initiate the database synchronization. After this, the master send the sequence number and the slave acknowledges it. So after the slave and master are getting elected, so the database synchronization start, and in this or in this process, the header of all the LSA are exchanged within the neighbors. So you can see this, the DBT packet format. So this is the generally DBT packet format which is used for the database description message. So in this, the first one bit, here we are specifying the number of bits. So in this DBT packet format, we are using the I bit. We are using the I bit. So I bit, it when it is set to 1, this means this is the first packet in the DBT exchange. M bit, whenever we are using the M bit and the particular M bit, it is set to 1, means that there are many more packet will follow that particular packet. Again in this, we in the DBT format we can use the MS bit. So MS bit, it is used, or the MS bit used This for master and slave. So when this bit is set, so it means that the router is the master in the DBD exchange process, and if the MS bit it is set to 0, it means the router is the slave. Next one, in the DBD format we are using the DBD sequence number. So this will generally contain the unique value which is set by the master. This sequence number, it is used during the database exchange, and through this only a master can increment the sequence number. And the last one field we have to see in this DBD packet format, that is the LSA header. So this field consists of the list of link state database header. So this is about the second one, packet related with the OSPF protocol, that is the database description message. Now come toward to the third one, packet, that is the link state request packet. So a link state request packet, it is being sent if the part of database it is missing or out of date. Okay, so we can say that the link state request packet, it is generally used if the part of the database it is missing or it is out of date. Again, a link state request packet, it is generally used to retrieve the precise piece of database information that is missing. It is also used after the DBD exchange is finished to request the LSA that have been seen during the DBD exchange. So this is the packet format of the link state request packet. So in this LS type field, so it uses the 20 bytes of OSPF header. So you can see uh, the link state request packet format. So in this packet format, the OSPF header it is of 32 bit, LS type it is of 32 bit, link state ID it is of 32 bit, and advertising router it is of 32 bit. Okay, so what is the functionality of LS type, or what is the LS type field specified? Okay, so LS type field specify, or it having some functionality, so it can identify what type of LSA it is being requested. Link state ID, this field represent the link state ID of that specific LSA, and we will discuss this in the next one unit. And the next one field in the link state request packet format is the advertising router. So it contain generally the router ID of the router that is originating this LSA. So this is all about the link state request packet. So if the particular database it is missing, so in that case we will use this link state request packet. In this, the last one packet which is used by the OSPF protocol is the link state acknowledgement packet. So the link state acknowledgement packet, it is generally used to acknowledge each LSA. So this packet it is sent in a response to the link state update packet. In this, multiple LSA can be acknowledged in a single link state acknowledgement packet. Again, this packet it is responsible for the reliable delivery of link state update packet. So in this figure you can see, or this is the packet format which is used for the link state acknowledgement packet. So the main functionality of the link state acknowledgement packet is to acknowledge the each LSA which is sent in a response to the link state update packet. So thank you.